you saw all of the things that's wrong, would you stand tall and strong, or would you turn?
Upon arrival to our AO, I was in Al-Qaim Region 2, also as Vince Emanuele, but I was in the town of Usaiba, right on the Syrian border. It was a little base. Town was not secure at that time when we went there. And the initial rules of engagement when we actually got there was if a person has a weapon or there's suspicious activity going on, we had to call the commanding post, request the permission, and assess the situation and see what we were going to do. On the third day when we arrived to our city, our company commander, our first lieutenant, and one of our NCOs that I went to SOI school with, they got killed by an IED that was placed in the HASCO barriers, which are barriers to isolate bases, and it was actually a light placed there, and they pulled with the sand. The rules were, as the time went on, and as the casualties grew higher and grew higher, rules started getting a little bit lenient, and from things going on and seeing your friends getting blown up and killing every day, we didn't really question them because we were angry. We just wanted to do our job and come back. As the rules went on, start lenient. It went down from person having a weapon to not calling the commanding post, and if they have a weapon or if they're doing some sort of illegal activity, I should say, suspicious activity, we were allowed to take them out. We would call it in, tell them we have a suspicious activity, and we would take the person out. The more it went on and the more casualties we got, at one point it changed to Iraqis had to have a heavy bag and a shovel, which is about 75% of Iraqi people right now trying to rebuild their country, and most of them have shovels, and they carry heavy bags, and they dig. And if they were digging, especially close to the road, we had to take them out. Later on, about a month later, we were told that it was up to us to make a decision. Looking back from a clear mind right now, as not being angry and mad, the rules of engagement were absolutely inappropriate, especially by the higher chain of command that giving it to us.
It just went to the point where we had no rules of engagement. Don't get me wrong, at that point in time, we were glad and we were happy, but now I look at it, back at it, and it's horrible, it's ridiculous. I can't believe that people that's supposed to take care of us actually would, knowing that you can manipulate and your Marines are brainwashed, and you will put them in that situation where it doesn't affect them, but it affects us in the long term, psychologically, physically, everything.
I would also like to mention this incident that happened, and it kind of will let you a little bit view on how our chain of command and people in the higher, what they're really doing. I lived with a roommate.
We were sharing the bathroom, both rooms sharing the bathroom, and he was the one who was on suicide watch for a long time before his parents came, and then they took him off just so he wouldn't tell his parents. And then we got to Iraq, they were still messing with him because he was on suicide watch, and if you're on suicide watch, you're not a real warrior, And he blew his brains out in the shower, and nobody was responsible for it, and I'm really, right now, I hope somebody better be charged for it, because parents didn't know. I'm sure parents didn't know what was going on. And they just, because we needed numbers, they took him and they sent him there. And then still, though, and the messed up thing is, at that point of time, that's why I know that it was so messed up, because I was saying the same things to him, I was like, what, you can't be a man, But now when you actually clear out and you see what really happened, it's horrible. How can you not care for a human being alive? Doesn't matter what, it's a human being, it's alive and young, and obviously innocent, because he didn't even want to, he couldn't handle it. So why sending him there instead of getting him some help, maybe getting him out? And it's ridiculous, and people should be responsible for it, because there's our lives, there's just human lives, and you can't just take them for granted for your own personal cause.
So when you got back, did you get a long debrief or a cool down period? What kind of help did you get to normalize to?
I got sleeping pills called Ambien, and that's all they would give us. Waiting lines waiting for psychologists were like a year and a half, 2 years, and if you would go ask for mental health, they would call you the word P, or you're B, and what do you can't fix yourself. It's like, just drink some water and some aspirin, you'll be fine. Great, thank you.
The administration says they support the troops, and the anti-war movement does not support the troops. What do you think about that? Do you feel any support from this administration?
From this administration, I don't. I absolutely don't. Because, we see the reactions of DOD, that it was all our fault. It was troops' fault, not the people in charge of them. You can see that, They're scared. They know that's it. It's just like, you speaking, you hearing from people, and it's the same stories. When few people talk about it, you might question it. But when you have an organization of so many veterans, and I met most of these guys. It's my first time meeting them. 4 hours before I testified, I got here on Thursday night, 2 in the morning. I woke up from 12 till 4 before our testimony. That's when I met those guys. And when they started reading those stories, and I was like, testimonies, and I was going crazy how everything's so the same in different parts of the country, and it was just incredible that so many people, and it's the same stories, and it kind of puts you at ease because you feel that, wow, actually, so it is true. I thought I was the only one, and sometimes you doubt, question, because everybody from the left, from the right, they look at you, they look down on you for things you're saying. They're like, well, we don't know, people talk, and then when you see all these people saying the same things, that's when you realize that, all right, good, and that's what's really going on,
And how long did it take you to decide to join IVAW, and why'd you join up?
Well, a lot of the causes, my best friend, my brother Vincent Emanuele, he was pushing me forward. He actually opened up my eyes on what was really going on after we got back from Iraq the second time. But it didn't. It took me about a year to year and a half to actually stand up after a little incident I had when I was about to commit suicide. I had a .40 caliber in my mouth, sitting for 20 hours trying to figure out whether I should quit right now and be at ease and die, or should I stay here, and put up with this. And that morning my roommate came out, took the gun, drove it away to his parents' house, and I walked outside and I realized that it's about time to start doing something about it, and I joined IVAW, and here I am, and I'm glad to be here. It's been the most amazing time of my life probably right now. It's just incredible. Meeting all the people and hearing all their stories, and just trying to help, helping people of our country to see that they're being abused, and they're being used, and nobody's responsible for it, and it's horrible. It should not be like that. We're people, every person has a right. We're all equal. There shouldn't be, there shouldn't be separation. We're here, we're on this planet, we have nowhere to go. Why would you fight? Well, let's make peace, and live together in harmony.
I want to apologize to all the people in Iraq, and I'm sorry, and I hope this is going to be over as soon as possible. Thank you.
Would you stand up for truth? Or would you turn away too? And then what if you saw all of the things that's wrong? Would you stand tall and strong? Or would you turn it away?